Hey everyone, my name is Uthris and welcome back to Medieval Engineers, where we're working on our wonderful sky city that will eventually feature some airships and airship docks, etc. Last episode we worked on this kind of, I guess, intermediate area some more. Added some for farmlands. We added a underground storage area and things like that. In between episodes, I went ahead and finished up the next section of the bridge, and as you can see, this is a much more narrow bridge than the rest. It's just a single wide pathway on this one. Functions pretty much the exact same as the others. It's nice and locked in place and operating very well. There is a bit of room on this island for some farmland and a farmhouse, so I'll be building that this episode. As you can see, this one is also on wooden kind of struts to keep it off and nice and level, even though the island is floating off in the air. And then it also has this nice little kind of viewing area to give eventually really nice views of the rest of the city, at least the outskirts. Now, I did have a suggestion to make just a almost like a wireframe, not a wireframe, something like a ski lift or something similar to that, or a trolley of some kind, just on hanging on wires that would go across this gap. And I tried that for a couple hours. The problem is, to do that well, the space required and the cart size takes up more room than really what we have here. So I might do that in like a bigger scale eventually, because it's a really cool idea, but for this little section, just sticking with a little bridge I think is fine for now. I also just finished taking out a link from the first bridge, which was a big chore. You know, I had to use some more winches to pull a taut, and with how heavy the thing is, the physics, it doesn't really like doing that very much. But it definitely looks a little bit better because I did that. It's a little bit more of a smoother arc instead of we were almost getting into a U shape, to be honest. It could be a little bit more flush up here. In fact, I wish it was, but it doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to get it to do so. So for the temporary workaround, it's just going to sit like this. You know, new locks, so it sits in place just fine. Obviously, latency is a little high in just this little section for me, probably because of all the light sources and then the physics-enabled objects in this area. But still not too bad. Hopefully, once we get farther along, the lag doesn't get unplayable like it does in Lothlorien, for me at least. We'll go ahead and run over to the new island we're working on, besides the small farm plot down there. And that's this one here, which I've already built the bridge for, and a nice kind of gatehouse for it. We're getting closer to the main city, so defenses are going to start kind of kicking up a notch and getting a little bit more grand and noticeable. It has a pretty cool guard tower. If I can get up the stairs, there we go. Pretty standard. It's got a left and right side, both with its own staircase and access point. Wonderful views, as always, on this map. It's going to have just farmland, no homes on the surface. There is a couple side paths here that we're going to do some wooden staircases down into the island, just like the previous one, but this one's bigger, so we have a whole lot more room to work with in there. So we might be able to do some cool home designs, maybe. I can spin these around to fit the area that we're doing. And let's go one more. Yeah, this level's not too bad. Okay, so we'll do something like that. This needs a support as well. And of course, doing stuff off these islands that are floating in the air. Little hard to get the structural integrity to work with us, but we'll do our best, of course. I'm also going to be working on this little structure. It's kind of like a small market area just before you get into the real trade district. This is for mainly the people that live out here, or you know, your standard, could just be food and things since it's close to the farms. But I like anything that's going to be going in over the main pathway to create some nice breaks and some ceilings. Example over here, we have a nice arched, if I can get up here, come on, there we go. Some nice arched architecture going up through there, and you know, plenty of stonework mixed in with wood. And my frames are dropping again. I don't know why. I'm not even near anything that gives it any physics enabled. I have a well here just for a detail. I know I'm gonna get a little flack for this. We're on an island floating in the sky. Why would you build a well up here? One could argue that magic. Hey, maybe there's a forever water source in this thing, or maybe it just collects rain somehow. Who knows? It's just I wanted a little building to fit right there, and then this is going to be our other pathway going down into the mountainside. All right. And boom. Actually, let's curve this a little bit at the bottom there, just so it all fits together nice and tight, hopefully structurally sound. Alright, so that's another pathway in. And it would be cool to kind of do a stone facade here, I'm thinking. That way it doesn't look too thrown together, maybe. I'm trying to find my voxel tools, but apparently I removed them off my hotbar when I was working on that bridge. I'm just gonna smooth this out just a little bit so I can see what I'm working on. It's not a big deal if I remove blocks or things like that. It's just a, you know, something I had to rebuild a little bit later, which isn't too hard. I think I'll have this one curve as well, and then go over here like so. If I'm able to, that in there. Stonework, all the stonework is needed. And we'll go with a battlement for the top here. Make it nice looking. That ain't too bad. Let's go down here and add a pillar just so it doesn't look like it's floating quite off in space like it is now, and our upside down stone block slope. Frames are dropping again. Might need to restart the game. Might be kind of fighting me since I updated the bridge thinking about it. So yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Working in stone into the facade of the mountain can definitely do us very well. Makes it look a little bit more like home. How about a windmill blade roof in this section? That might be cool, so we'll do that. Any way to get this out there just a little bit. Need to find ways to kind of just grab the edge of this previous windmill blade so we can build upon it without too much difficulty. But it looks like it's wanting to be a little difficult with us. Maybe if I'm able to put the center of it back a little bit on this side, maybe. There we go. Try from this point on. Flip it around so it fits. Sometimes you gotta play with the snap points on blocks so they work with you. Though this one's still fighting me a whole lot. That ain't bad. How's that look? Oh boy. Since we're going in an opposite direction, it's not gonna line up quite right from the looks of it. No, it's not. It's fighting me, guys. It's fighting me pretty hard right now. So the next workaround that you can do for things like this is try and use a different snap point. I'm going to use the end of it rather than the side. Come on. I'm working in a pretty tight corridor here, so there we go. Now the question is, can I snap to this new one? Or am I going to have to use this side the whole way? And I am stuck in the wall completely. Oh. And I have to kill myself. As you fall to infinity. Wow. That would be cool in multiplayer to see people fall off the bridges and stuff. Where am I? Is the map really this big? Like, I can't even see what I'm building from here. I'm on the back side of the mountain. So this map looks awesome. Might be too big to be what I'm doing. And sudden realization of how big these islands are, because it's been a while since I've zoomed out this far. This is going to be a long series, if I had to guess. 60 episodes, if I had to guess. So we're in for another long haul, guys. This might be end up being probably longer than Lothlorien, because there's a lot more finesse than just building houses on a hill, you know? But it's worth it. Yeah, no. Guess we're going to have to keep doing this trick until it's all placed in there. And then we'll just lower it down, put another windmill blade there. And I think I can get rid of these. Yep. Why am I having a hard time? Oh, it's that. That is getting in the way a little bit. It's okay. It'll be covered up by a path. When we put the wooden floor on like so, you won't even tell that it's missing. And no one from really ground level is going to be able to tell that one support's not there. So let's go ahead and angle this one too. Why not? I'm still waiting for that perfectly 45-degree angled wooden floor. It would be very nice to have. Sadly, we don't have it still. Yeah, that looks cool. Yeah, this build is going to have so many of these type of things that the faster I get on these and quicker I am, just overall the better. So let's do that. Put a little jut, then lower it again. Put another little jut all the way down until you're done, basically. And am I stuck again? Yes, I am. This is happening more frequently. I've had to do this throughout the day as well because I keep backing into things and getting stuck on the terrain. Let's see, on the backside yet again. So we're already 16 minutes in. That really is a whole lot's getting done. This is slow work. Really, really slow work. I've spent multiple hours just doing the off-camera stuff today. So I will be skipping here to when we are basically ahead enough to show you the finished product on these two little islands. See what you guys think, and then you can give me suggestions on the Commerce District, which is going to be this island here. As you can see, it's very bulbous and multi-tiered, so we can do some interesting builds on that. It's not very flat. These flat ones make great for farmland, so that's why I'm using it for it. But yeah, I'll be back once this island is done. Alright everyone, so it looks like I have finished this island and the previous island now. Working underground can be pretty difficult in this game, just because you can't really measure things out very well. Under here, this is some type of drainage or, I guess, sewage maybe, or something to do with water eventually. And you can see canals, maybe, is a good word. I don't know the proper term for this. Aqueduct? No. So basically, you know, we just got some places water could sit and they could draw all up through the well. And then if it's a magical source, which is what I'm going for considering everything's floating, if there was water in the game, I would love to have like a source block and then just have it pour out here just to infinity. I think that would look pretty cool and give a nice vertical element to the build. So doing stuff like that here and there would definitely be something cool in the future maybe. We have just kind of an exposed balcony too on this side from the inner canals as well. And then if you go up here and back over to the other pathway to get into the other half of the lower section, we just have more storage, balcony areas. People can probably technically put this as a house if you really want to. I mean, it's got two fairly large rooms, and then in the back a nice balcony out this side. You know, you have access to, well, you don't have access to, but it's right underneath the staircase to the other underground entranceway, and you have a nice view of the main defensive gate. And then out the other side, this is really dark. I might have to do a color, some type of darkness correction in the editing. We just have another little balcony. We're gonna have a lot of these, a lot of wonderful views, so you can see everything, take in all the sights, and yeah, that's about it for this episode. Really, it was a lot of off-camera stuff because I just didn't know really what I was doing. I had to fumble around on these last two little islands to try and figure it out, and then editing that bridge. I mean, I've been working on this for multiple hours for sure, and especially with trying to get that cart system to work here. This small farmhouse, just put the roof on, add an awning here, put grass everywhere where it belongs, and that's about it. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you guys are enjoying the build, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.